Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm BB and I make tarot-esque videos. It's been a while. It's been a while since I posted. I mean, that's kind of dramatic. It's been a minute. It's been a long while since I did an at present. So that's what we're doing today. It's been at least 5 months. Are we cute? Okay, I guess we're cute. Okay. I have a big list of things to share and talk about, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start with media. I don't know what the time frame is on this. It's kind of since the beginning of the year to now, which is currently April 17th. Okay. I've been watching Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last at present. If I did, wow, I've been watching it for a long time. I liked it. There were moments where I was like over it and wanted it to be better or different or thought that it wasn't going to be as interesting. I didn't think that the ending was entirely satisfying, but is it really ever when TV shows end? I don't know. But overall, it was a really good show. It was very frustrating at times, certain characters, certain storylines, but then other ones were really compelling. So for what it was, which was like a sci-fi TV show, if you haven't heard of this, it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, and there's a Portlandia skit about it that you just get sucked in and you lose everything in your life, your job, your house, your money, because you can't stop watching it. And there were moments where I felt like that, but moments where I didn't. Like my partner was always frustrated or disappointed when I would want to go to bed after one episode. I'd be like, okay, that's it for today. And he's like, how can you mean it's it for today? Like, I'm like, that's it. That's all I can do today. Let's go to bed. The other show that I rewatched and finished was Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And we'd just kind of been watching that on and off. And my partner really liked it, which was really exciting for me because I adore that show. It's one of my favorite all-time shows ever. And I love period pieces, especially in that period. There's not a ton unless it's kind of like a mob movie or like maybe not a mob movie or TV show, but like a flashback of someone who was in the mob, like when they were a kid or something, because it's in the 50s and 60s. Anyway, the show is funny as heck. It's smart. It's so fashionable. The music is great. The actors are all amazing in it. And I was very happy to rewatch it. We also watched the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action adaptation, which, I don't know. I don't mean to sound negative. I really enjoyed once I kind of decided to let go and just accept it for what it was. I definitely got emotional at the end because it is at its heart a really great story. I feel like the season was too short. It was 8 episodes. I think it should have been at least 10. I think 11 or 12 might have been better. My biggest gripe is that sometimes the production design seemed too perfect and not lived in, but I guess that's also like translating an animated show for children and you want to like keep the color and saturation and everything like that. And then the other thing that was difficult for me was not getting enough of each character's personality and then their strengths and weaknesses and how they all related to each other and how they made each other better. And so some of their relationships didn't feel as earned. And so then you don't get as emotionally invested. I already was invested because I'm a fan of the original, so I know that background, but I think that I took for granted that I knew that background, you know? And then lastly for TV, which I don't know if this is the only other thing I've watched, but these are the things that stand out in my mind, is Fallout. I've watched I think we've only watched the first 2 episodes, but we're enjoying it so far. I am not a big gamer. I don't really know anything about the video game, so it's been interesting and fun to kind of discover as it goes, because I don't really have anything to base it on. Okay, movies I watched, The Marvels on Disney Plus. That was fun. I don't know. I think with like that universe, the Marvel universe, I'm not really expecting anything new and different anymore. It's just kind of the same thing. And it was just like a fun, easy movie to watch. I saw Poor Things. I didn't watch it all in one go because it is long. I watched half of it and then the other half another day. And I think the first half, I went into it with the wrong mood. It had nothing to do with the movie. It was just like the mood I was in that day was not good. So I was really disliking it. And the music, that was one thing, is like the music in the first half was very much messing with my sensitivity, like my audio sensitivity for sure. But I went back and watched the second half and I fell in love with it. And when I say that, I mean fell in love with the story, because I already loved the actors in it, the set design, the costume design, all of that is spectacular and like right up my alley. I loved it so much. And then the more after I watched it, the more that I would watch videos about the making of it, about the psychology of it, about the symbolism, really explaining each and every intentional decision and motive of the filmmakers, I fell in love with it more and more. It really is a masterpiece. I definitely would watch it again. I think it would be much easier to watch a second time. I don't think it's for everyone, not to sound cliche, but I really did like the outcome, kind of the moral of the story. I think what I was missing in the first half was that Bella didn't have any agency, and I didn't know how that was gonna go. And she wasn't smart, but there are reasons for that. And then at the end, I felt very satisfied with her character arc, so that really helped a lot. I also watched Zodiac, which I know came out in like 2007, but no one in my life, or not no one, I have a very close friend who would definitely watch that with me, but my partner doesn't like scary movies or true crime or anything like that. And I know that movie wasn't super scary or anything, but I don't know, it's just always been on my list and I've never gotten around to it. And I was alone the other night and I watched it and it was great. Maybe I was on a Mark Ruffalo kick. I love Robert Downey Jr. as well. And I know Jake Gyllenhaal's been in some great movies too. So yeah, that was enjoyable. And then I watched Saltburn, loved it, thought it was a romp. Another visually very like satiating movie. It's like psychotic party monster vibes. And when I say that, I mean like I don't take it too seriously. I think that people maybe got upset about it or thought that it wasn't as much of a statement as it should have been, and maybe thought it was a statement about class, when I mean that is definitely a huge part of the movie. But Emerald Fennell has said, she's the director, and she also directed Promising Young Woman, which I never got around to seeing either, but she said that it's a statement about obsession and always wanting more and never being satisfied, and how kind of sickly gross everyone can get. And I don't mean in the literal way of the scenes like maybe people have talked about. I just kind of mean like how much people can sink into the depths of their obsession and become very greedy, like mentally and emotionally, with the things they're fixated on, and how people want what they can't have or what they don't have. So when you look at it in that lens, and then of course there are there are many comments about class, and they're, it's a satire and they're making fun of the rich. But this is also directed by someone who grew up upper class and knows the world very well. So it can't be the biggest commentary on that class when like the auteur of this film is from that class. You know what I mean? If you don't know anything else, you're kind of too close to it to be able to make a serious movie about that subject, you know? Really loved it, thought it was really great. I really liked that I didn't feel super compelled the whole time where I was like really nervous or on edge. It was just like, oh no, this is gonna be a fun, messed up, weird little movie, and it's gonna be beautiful. And I also love that it's set, funny I said 2007 because I think it's set in 2007. And I love that aspect of it too. We need more movies set in that time frame. I love Jacob Elordi. I love Barry Keoghan. Love him. And you know he's like also dating Sabrina Carpenter. Love that. Okay, anyway, moving on. But I did love Saltburn. I should have been a filmmaker. I'm just telling you. Not that these videos are any example, any testament to that, because they are not. Okay, and then lastly, I saw Dune 2. I loved it. I don't want to hear about it. Like, I thought it was gorgeous and stunning. It maybe had some pacing issues in the first half, or that may have just been the energy in the room because the person to the left of me in the theater would not stop eating the entire time right next to my ear. And then my partner was on the right, and he, I don't know, was like less enthused about it than I was. So I feel like the first half really like bummed me out, and then it kind of like I got with it and I moved seats, and then I had like a much better time after that. So, but love that whole franchise, love everybody in it, like love the director, so good. Music. I've been really obsessing over certain artists and albums right now. And I guess I'm just in my pop girly era. I'm in my cowgirl era. I'm loving Chappell Roan. I love her voice. If you do not listen to her, if you like pop music and maybe a little campy music and just like fun for the girls music, then you will like Chappell Roan. She is from the Midwest, and her album is called The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, I think. Either way, I'm obsessed. Some of the highlights from that album. Oh, she also like loves drag and like dresses up. I'll put photos of her. Let me think. Highlights of the album: Red Wine Supernova, Pink Pony Club, After Midnight, Casual, Phenomenon. They go on, but she's wonderful. I've been listening to Cowboy Carter a lot. I have been researching a lot about Cowboy Carter. I first listened to it at home, and I watched all of like the lyric videos on YouTube, and then I went to work the next day and just listened to it on repeat, and I love it. I think that every song is like a little piece of a different part of the South, and its style, and it's like homage to different moments in Black country western history, in Beyonce's history. Love it, love it, love it. The more I listen to it, the more I love it. And if you are on the fence about it or you're not sure, like just do some research about those things. And then someone said something to me, and it was like, or maybe I just saw it online somewhere, and it was like, don't think of this album as like a country album. Just think of it as a tribute to like everything. Like Beyonce's tribute to a country album, or just like her doing her own spin on everything. So that really freed up any expectations that I was having. Yeah, love it. Even down to, if you don't know, like Blackbird was written by Paul McCartney about Black girls in the civil rights era, it being their time to stand up and be heard, and the things that they were going through, like desegregation in schools and stuff. It's really good, really, really good. There's so much history there. If you haven't listened to it, there's Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton cameos in it. which are really fun. Moving on, I'm also obsessed right now with a song called Britney by Gloom. It's about a year old. I go by BB on this channel. I've gone by BB at work. I've gone by BB or Beebs with friends. But my name is Britney, and it makes me like this song even more because it's very like 80s synth inspired, and they name drop Lana Del Rey, and the lyric of the chorus is, Britney likes her music loud, could you please turn it up? And I'm like, yes. So good. Lastly, I've been listening to a lot of Lola Young. She's a 23-year-old British musician, artist, and she reminds me of a mix between King Cruel and Adele. She has some like Amy Winehouse influence, and she also very much has like a conversational, personal, informal type of lyricism that reminds me of Kate Nash. More on her in a bit. Okay, I've been reading 2 books off and on. I tend to read more nonfiction than fiction. The first one is Wear It Well. It's by Alison Bornstein. It says, reclaim your closet and rediscover the joy of getting dressed. I saw this on another YouTube channel. Can you see it? Okay. I saw this on another YouTube channel. I think it's Ellie Jean Royden. She does a lot of fashion and style strategy and psychology and things like that. And she also has her own system for your fashion or your style personality. So she was doing this, and this is actually, it involves an exercise that you do with your closet. So I'm really excited to do that, and maybe I'll make a video about it. But thanks, Ellie Jean Royden. Royden? I think it's Royden. The next book that I have been reading is The Interior Design Handbook by Frida Ramstedt. I got it in a spiral. You can get it hardbound. I just felt like if it's a handbook and like I might be writing in it or using it more, that a spiral would be easier for me. You can get this on Amazon. So far, it's really just review because I've taken interior design classes and I've watched videos since I was a child about it. So it's not the most, I don't know, like illuminating book so far, but I'm only like a quarter of the way in. It's very cool. It's very practical. And that's the whole point of the book, is that it's not about like abstract ideas about how to design a space. It's how you can implement these principles and ideas into your own space. Okay, some experiences. So in January, we found out, or maybe it was December, we found out that my grandma was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. It's non-small cell lung cancer, and she started chemotherapy. She had 4 sessions, and now she's just going to be getting immunotherapy until she's not here anymore. But in January, I had this sense of urgency to go spend a good amount of time with her. I was there for her first chemo treatment. I went and worked remote for 2 weeks in Salt Lake City, which is where her and my grandpa live. It was super fun. It was snowing and cold, and she didn't have super intense symptoms yet when I was there, so we were able to do some fun things, or at least, hang out, and she wasn't always sick in bed. There were maybe a couple days where she wasn't feeling great, but other than that, it was really nice. I will put some photos. They have friends that live out there. Like, they moved to Utah and then they convinced all their friends to move to Utah too. So I went and had dinner with their group of friends a few times. We played games. They love games. We love playing Trivial Pursuit. My Mimi always insists that it's boys versus girls. I don't know why, but I really held my weight in those games, and these are smart, well-read people who have been living much longer than me, so that was very cool to see. While I was there, we decided to go on a cruise. My Mimi wants to travel as much as she can before she's not here anymore. She is a huge traveler, and she's been to 6 continents out of the 7. And we decided to book a Mediterranean cruise. My mom's coming. My mom has never been to Europe. I'm very excited. None of us. My mom and I both have never been to the Mediterranean, so that's really exciting. And literally, I can't think of anything else. Like, I'm either working or I'm thinking about that cruise. We leave May 1st, so I'm very, very excited. I will try to vlog. Let me know if you want one of those. When I got back from Utah, I was back for a few days. My mom came over on a Friday night, February 2nd, actually, and we got a call that my dad died unexpectedly. And I mean, he wasn't in the best of health, but he wasn't in the hospital or anything like that. And this is my biological dad. So my mom and he have not been married, I don't know, since 1988. So it was a shock. And my partner got home from work, and we told him, oh no, he was at the gym. He got home from the gym and we told him, and he said, okay, so we're going out for a drink, right? And we were in our pajamas, like getting ready to get into bed because my mom was spending the night that night at my place. And we were like, yes, we are going to go get a drink. And so we didn't have to leave the building. We just went downstairs to the bar at the bottom of my building and had a drink, and it was very nice. And it has been an emotional roller coaster since then. I will not harp on it, and I will probably put a disclaimer when I'm editing this video, because I know it's hard for everybody, and it sucks, and it feels like I'm in a club I don't want to be in, but everyone's in eventually. So back to happy things for now. I got my passport around Valentine's Day. I had one when I was younger. I lost it and then it expired. So I was overdue. So I got my passport. Everything was all good. We can go on this cruise. It feels even more deserved now. And then all of a sudden, last minute in March, we decided to move into a different unit in my building. It was bigger. It was street facing. It got better light. It just made more sense. And I was so excited, and we did it. And that was super fun and awesome. I actually made a video about it and a new channel, but I'll talk about that in a second. And then lastly, I went and saw Lola Young. So my friends were coming to LA, and they said, hey, we're going to a show. Do you want to hang out before? And I said, sure, I can take you to the show because it's close by my house. Like, that sounds great. So before they come over, my friend says, oh, I found you a ticket. Do you want to go? And I was like, absolutely. Who are we seeing again? She was like, Lola Young. I was like, holy crap, I love her. I mean, I didn't know a lot of her music, but I really liked her of what I had seen from YouTube and things like that. And we went, and it was amazing. And she was amazing. I don't know how much of it I can show of the videos that I filmed of her, but it was incredible. She was so good, and her personality was so cute and open and vulnerable and silly, and she sang like a motherfucker. Like, oh, she's so good. Don't hate me, but you know what I thought you was. Don't hate me, but you're not. Don't hate me, but you know what I thought you was. You said that I'm really fucking boring. That's where it's coming from you. You don't seem nothing clean. You don't taste like nothing when I'm sober. were like the main experiences that I can think of. And let's move on to YouTube. This year I started a new series called Venus in Transit, and I missed one when I was in Utah. And then I think I'm currently in the process right now of missing another one because work has been so intense and I haven't really had the time to do anything when it comes to YouTube. So that's unfortunate. But other than that, it's been super fun. I've gotten great feedback and I definitely intend to continue it. And I might do some makeup videos. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I feel really bad for being inconsistent with it, but it's just been a year so far. It's life, it happens, and everyone's been so gracious and forgiving. The other YouTube event that I did was I did a Tarot Unfiltered live video with Rose Honey Ritual, and we went through a bunch of upcoming, or not even necessarily upcoming, some of them were current, some of them were older decks, and we just gave kind of a hot takes, and it was so fun. And I think we were on there for 3.5 hours. We filmed it when I was in Utah. I'll link it. It was a romp. If you got through that whole thing, bless you. I hope we were entertaining. Okay, back to moving. I filmed a video, a moving vlog. It's not the best, but it's if you're interested, if you like interior design, if you like moving vlogs, if you want to see my new apartment, if you like downtown lofts, I will link it. And I also made a new channel because I really want to make more interior design content, and I'd like to keep the tarot and interior design stuff separate, or just lifestyle stuff separate. So when I'm vlogging in Europe, I'll probably end up posting to my new channel. It's called Red Velvet Rope. I will link it also in the description below. If you have any interest, check out my video, like it, subscribe to my new channel. If you don't, disregard. I've also been really obsessed with, I always love watching interior design YouTube and interior decorating and styling and things like that. But a few favorites that I've had in the past couple months have been Georgine Lowe. He has like the most amazing space. I think it's in Vietnam or Thailand or something, but his apartment is incredible and always inspires me so much. He makes really vibey, awesome videos. Tam May, she goes by Tammy, I believe. She has a great loft, and I love the way she's been decorating it lately. She's the cutest, sweetest. She always has great advice about self-care and things like that. And then lastly, and I believe an interior designer named Christina Di Stefano has been making really great videos about different topics and principles of interior design, and I've been really enjoying it. She's really fun and she does such a great job with her videos. It's been really nice to tune into her as well. Okay, on to the decks. Should we go for it? Okay, let me get things situated here. The first deck I want to check out is the Dragon Tarot by Nigel Suckling. I got this secondhand at a discount, I think from either Thrift Books or Abe Books. I consistently check those websites. I have another Dragon Tarot called Dragon Tarot without the on it. So I feel like if you want this one, it's easiest if you also include Nigel Suckling on it. Oh, and the illustrations are by Roger and Linda Garland. This one I've seen a lot on TarotTube, I don't know, in the past like 6 months or so, and it's really influenced me like a lot. I think I've talked about this before, but the types of decks that I'm into or can appreciate the art for are like has grown. I don't know, like this isn't something that I would have wanted before. I think I would have deemed it a little bit nerdy or dated, but there's something really sweet and nostalgic about it, and it's not that everything like this piques my interest. I think it's like the way this one is done specifically. It kind of reminds me of Pagan Otherworlds, and it also kind of reminds me of the Anima Mundi, just, you know, with dragons. And it also really reminds me of the Lover's Path. I wonder if it's the same illustrators, artists. Anyway, you guys have seen this. It's cool. It's the Dragon Tarot. I love medieval stuff. I'm also in my medieval era. How can you be in your medieval era and your country era at the same time? Don't ask. I contain multitudes, okay? The next deck was sent to me by my friend Marlena. It is the Star Trek Next Generation Tarot. This was a household staple when I was growing up, so it's very exciting to receive this. I had seen it before and was really impressed by the art style and the depictions of the characters in this show. And I guess it just wasn't ever on the top of my, you know, purchase list, probably because it's a pip deck. But I really love how it's so faithful to the time period as far as the art goes. It really feels like 80s, 90s. I wonder if the entirety of this show is in the 80s. I honestly don't know. I wonder if it says, and probably doesn't say in the guidebook. But it's really, really cool. And yeah, fun to have. Really fun to have. So that is the Star Trek Next Generation. Actually, you know, I know that it's hard to get meanings out of the pips, but I have noticed that the choices made for the characters like tends to really fit, you know, and make sense. I did see a video about this deck by Laura, I believe, and going through almost card by card, talking about what makes sense and what they feel is appropriate, etc. But artistically, so much fun. I definitely have this deck as a collector's item. I don't know how much I would be using it. If I did, I'd probably be only pulling like 1 to 3 cards. This is by Inside Editions, surprising no one. This next one I'm not sure about. And it was one that I was not interested in at all when I first saw it on Katie Flowers' channel years ago. And then more recently, I don't know. I was like, maybe I really need this because everyone says it reads so well, which I believe. And it looks great on camera. I don't know if you are picking that up, but when I've watched people's videos of it, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, this does look really amazing. And I think there are certain cards that I think are visually really appealing, and then other ones where I'm like, hell no. And maybe that would be a cool video. No? I think it could be. Just for funsies. Anyway, so I really don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this one. But I really want to like it. Maybe I could do some pairings and that could really make this one shine, right? Or like bring it into a different energy, like add to it. Augment the experience. So maybe we'll do that. I really do like that card and that card. I think I like the cups and the swords, but that's not new for me. I always like the cups and the swords. Those are my favorite suits for some reason. Oh, I love that too. I like all the 2s for some reason too. Okay, so this is the Guild Tarot. This is by US Games. I got this on the US Games website actually. I know it was out of print for a while and then they brought it back. Okay, I also got the Herb Crafter's Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert and Letitia Guthrie. This is from US Games. I think they were having a sale, so I got a couple decks. This one I had been wanting for a long time too, and again was not on the top of the priority list. And I don't know, everyone speaks so highly of this that when I was flipping through it, I was like expecting it to absolutely blow me away. And it's not so far, but I haven't used it yet. So I think that's why. And, you know, the art is really amazing in it, but it's like cards like that I really love. But it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't making me, like, my jaw drop. I wasn't thinking, wow, this is so stunning, you know? But maybe I will. You guys have all seen this. It's been everywhere. And for good reason. I'm not trying to poo-poo it. But I don't need to show the whole deck to you. Okay, so this is the Herb Crafters Tarot. And if you have any recommendations on how you use this and what types of readings you do, is it in the book? I will read the book. I have not read the book. I'll check in the book for readings, for spreads. But that's the Herb Crafters. I know I said I haven't done an at present in months, and I haven't, but I have done deck hauls. So if you want to see other decks that I've purchased in the past 5 or so months, I would recommend checking out my other videos on my channel. And I would also recommend subscribing if you're watching and you're not subscribed. I'm saving my favorite for last, so this is second to last. This is the Uncommon Tarot. I finally pulled the trigger on this one. It's by Shaheen Miro with commentary by Teresa Reed. And this is one that has been on and off of my wish list for a couple years. And whenever someone shows it in a video, I'm kind of astounded and I'm like, wow, 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 I need this, I need this. And it was one of those where I wasn't the most moved, not by the imagery. I think the imagery is great. I'm just not as much of a fan of, oh, this is cool though, of digital collage as I am of like analog or hand done collage. I don't know. But this is right, this is my thing. This should be my thing. I just wish it was paper. I just wish I could see, and I also like don't like when they add texture to things. This is one of the reasons I bought this. This is one of the reasons I bought it. Really, like, the cups court is amazing. But I think, again, this is a video I think would be really fun to do a yes, no, maybe on these cards, and also do like a pairing in that video, or, you know, several pairings. I know this is shown a lot on YouTube, but it's just like really, I don't know, iconic and definitely polarizing, right? I don't know. Okay, so that's the Uncommon Tarot. This is good. This is giving me ideas of videos to make as if I don't already have enough. I've got a deck for that, and I just have not been in the mood to edit it because it's just been taking a lot of work. And so it's just been sitting. Like, I filmed it over a week ago, and it's just been sitting, and I will edit it for like 10 minutes and then get bored and not want to do it anymore. And I think it's a good video too. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. You'll see it eventually. Okay, and then as far as my much exciteness, the Major Arcana, Lenora Carrington. I pre-ordered this when I got an email from Fulgur Press that they were going to republish it or reprint it, and I was beside myself. I was so excited, and it finally came. And this reminds me, I also really want to do a Unicorn Decks 2023. It's scented. Oh, it's scented. It smells like an old lady in like the best way. It smells like your grandma's drawer, like perfume drawer or something. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so I know that we're in April and I'm about to like leave for Europe for a month, and then I'll be extra behind. So you probably won't see the video until maybe June. But I really want to do a Unicorn Decks video because I feel like I got a lot of my Unicorn Decks this past year, and maybe I need to include this. So maybe it's just in the last calendar year and not like 2023. What's my workaround here? Someone tell me. I love, back to this deck. I love this imagery. I would definitely, I think I said this in my I've got a deck for that video because of course I featured this. I would frame and hang almost any one of these images. I just showed you the whole deck. You're welcome. I love you. read about Lenora Carrington. This is not the video I'm gonna do it in, but this deck is everything. I'm so excited. I've wanted this for years. I think I first saw it on Meg's channel, which tracks, you know? Anyway, Major Arcana of Lenora Carrington. Love it, love it. Art. Fine art. Okay, and then lastly, I have 3 more decks. 2 are Oracle, 1 is kind of a playing card deck. Let's get into that. This is another deck that Marlena sent me. It's the Divine Doors by Andres Ingracia. And I really love this one. I think there's an Oracle of Doors, and I think I need that too. So beautiful. I feel like these could be used for a lot of different things. They have things on the back, but I don't know how good they are. But imagery wise, this is just very satisfying to me. I like it. I am such a fan of architecture and composition that it just feels right. It just feels like a match. And this could just be a picture book for all I care, you know? It doesn't have to be divination. What do you think? Do you not care about these things? Do you think that these doors are pretty or interesting? Or are you like, why would anyone want this? Because I'd love to know. This is Divine Doors, Oracle. Should we read one of the backs? Nectar of sweetness, enjoy it brings the hummingbird's healing, as medicine it sings. Oh, that's the one. I have only used this once and I drew this card. Wait, can we do a different one? Silent skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind. In meditation's grace, the soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. Cool. They're fun. This is one of my unicorns too, and it hasn't been a unicorn for very long, and maybe I'm ruining my idea of my unicorn video, but I just have to share it because it's not present, right? This is the 21st Century Beline. I've already opened it, as you can tell, because it's a little bit mussed up. This is a huge French deck. I love the backs. Beautimus. I got this on Etsy. Can you even see the whole thing? Am I even showing you the whole thing? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. And this, I think I first saw on Chanel's channel. I love you, Chanel. Isn't this insane? I'm obsessed. Obsession is the name of the game. It's the word of the video. This is one of my favorite cards, like, of all time. And maybe also this one. I will link Chanel's walkthrough of this. This was a pretty penny. But it's so unique. And that this is coming from a person, oh, I love this one too. This is coming from a person who has a lot of collage decks, and this is still so unique. It's so funny. This reminds me of a friend of mine who had this image as his Facebook profile photo, like years and years ago, like 10 plus years ago, back in the day. And so whenever I see it, I think of him. Gorge. This is in French, so I have no idea what half of these say. I love this one too. So this is the 21st Century Beline. I don't remember the artist's name, but it is on Etsy, and I will link it, and I will also link Chanel's video. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot this last deck, so I'm splicing it in here. I was at my local Japanese bookstore in Little Tokyo, and I saw a bunch of these decks, and I'm kind of like really into the idea of moving to Korea in a few years when I can, you know, get everything in order and decide how I want to do it. And I decided I should start learning Korean. So I was using Duolingo. I haven't done it in the last few days, but I was kind of on a roll and it got hard and then I got discouraged. I need to get back on it. Anyway, there were these in almost every language. That's a lie. There were these in several languages, and I chose the Korean one even though I wanted kind of all of them. It's so cute. It comes in this little tin. And then it has, why have I lost the word for this? Everyone hates these, or some people like them. What the heck? What kind of box is this? The kind that are hard to open, that's what it is. We talk about these constantly. This is how you know I haven't been watching TarotTube very much. Flip box? I don't know. You know that we all know. How cool is this? Are these so cool? Tell me this is cool. Congratulations. Do you speak English? Karaoke. Life's good. Stylish. Nice to meet you. Excuse me. On my way. Good luck. Over here. Smile. I like it. Is this not so fun? And then I like how the font gets bigger, like on the emphasis you're supposed to do. I just love it. It's bilingual. Oh, these are the backs. And I want every single one. Does it show you the different ones? No. No. Okay. Anyway, this is just like a cute little deck, and I loved the design, and I thought that it was really useful, and I really love playing cards, so I probably wouldn't use this for divination, even though I think you really could, and then you can kind of play off of whatever phrase is in it. But it says, translations essential for a good time. Love it. Translate the fun. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Thanks, bye. Tuck box. Tuck box. I got it. We're back. And she's back. All right, peace. And that's my video. I want to thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being curious. Thanks for being my friend. Again, I'm BB. This is Pure Red Velvet. I'd love for you to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And please go check out my new channel, Red Velvet Rope, for lifestyle, fashion, personal, and of course, interior design content. There's only one video over there, but I have big plans, so check it out. Okay, my mom's coming, I gotta go.